Hey everybody, happy Tuesday night, day 93 since the first case of coronavirus, COVID-19, SARS-2 was unleashed on the world. I read a study today that not only have anxiety disorders gone way up, but nightmares have gone way up too. So you have to turn off the news because what goes in, your brain processes through the day. So tonight we're going to talk about sleep and what you can do besides Ambien or Restoril or Halcyon or all the sleep aids that you've been relying on. I'm not a fan of them. My mom took Ambien for like 10 years. And, you know, the family doctor just sort of hands them out like candy. But there's so many better ways. And the problem with medications like that is once you start them, it is so hard to stop them because the pharmaceutical companies do not want to be in the order business. They want to be in the reorder business. And that was the strategy for a lot of psychiatric medications. It's like, let's not make something that just fixes it. Let's make something that someone will have to be on for a long time. I'm not a fan of that. So we're going to talk tonight about sleep. Well, hello from Norway. Thank you so much for joining us. Fun article in the paper I sent to my team today. 4 out of 5 parents feel that this time in the pandemic, they've gotten closer to their kids. Yes, I'm so happy about that. It's clearly what's going on at my house. Chloe made dinner tonight, chicken shawarma, unbelievable. 16 years old. She is just taken to this cooking thing. I'm so proud of her. And my niece Alize over the weekend made brain-healthy tacos. That was great. And I'm so proud of myself. I learned how to brine. Never had done that before. Salmon tasted phenomenal. And I made my first rub for a tri-tip steak last night. I'm very proud of myself. Mostly I can Google things, and whatever has the most 5 stars, I'm going to try that first. Anyways, I digress. I hope you are staying safe and you're not letting the ants, the automatic negative thoughts, steal your happiness. So why do we sleep? When you sleep, your brain cleans or washes itself. And when you sleep, your body rests and turns on 700 health-promoting genes. And so if you're not sleeping 7, 7.5, 8 hours a night, those genes turn on and it makes you more vulnerable to get sick. Well, hello, Egypt. Love Egyptian food. Anyways, chicken shawarma, what did I say? So what are some alternatives to Ambien? Number 1, you have to begin to love your sleep. You have to care about it. Like, make it a priority. I was on, in fact, Thursday morning, I'm going to be on CNN Headline News with Mike Galanos, and we're going to talk about building a routine. He showed me a video of his routine, and it was not good. He didn't even have anything to eat till 1:30 and wondered why he was distracted. If you want a healthy routine, it starts the night before. It starts with a good night sleep. So before I go to bed, and I always go to bed about 10 o'clock, before I go to bed, I say a prayer, because I like to do that. Helps settle me. And then I say to myself, what went well today? And then in my mind, I review the positive things that have happened during the day. And I'm always finding these really great things that I was just too busy to just take time and notice. Like my 16-year-old daughter's really becoming a good cook. It just makes me so happy. Or my niece, I've been telling you, Amelie and I, she's 10. We're 2.5 weeks into table tennis every night. It's just like half an hour. You have to do it sort of like you brush your teeth. And she's just doing so well. So before you go to sleep, review what happened during your day about what went well. Too often, the undisciplined mind goes to bed and thinks about all the bad things that have happened. But you can consciously direct your brain in a positive way. You can consciously do that. And if your mind starts to spin and you get the bad thoughts, what I want you to do is write it down. Journal your bad thoughts. And then I want you to write down what can you do about it and what can't you do about it. The act of writing helps to get them out of your head so your brain doesn't spin on it. And as we set ourselves up for sleep, you have to care about it. Avoid anything that hurts it. This is so important. So what hurts sleep? Caffeine. Now, I know some of you go, I have a cup of coffee and go right to sleep. Yeah, and 2 hours later, you're getting up because you have to go to the bathroom. Caffeine blocks a chemical called adenosine that tells you to go to sleep. And so, if you're having trouble with sleep, before you take Ambien, kill the caffeine. Alcohol. Alcohol, yeah, it can help put you to sleep. But then a couple of hours later, your neurons, so alcohol suppresses your neurons, sort of like marijuana, suppresses your neurons. And then when it wears off, a couple of hours later, bing, you're back up. So I'm not a fan of those things. Yes, you might love coffee, Carla, but does it love you back? I only want to be in love with anyone or anything that loves me back. All right. So, love your sleep. This comes from The End of Mental Illness. If you haven't got your copy, get your copy, please. And if you got it and you liked it, leave a review at Amazon. I would be so grateful. So avoid anything that hurts your sleep. So there are a number of bad things. A warm room. Now, the ideal temperature, obviously it's personal, but the colder it is, generally the deeper you will sleep. Don't get crazy cold. But a warm room hurts your sleep. Light in the room. Turn off all your gadgets. Turn off all your gadgets. And having any blue light in your eyes, like from the phone or your computer, after dark, decreases the production of melatonin and makes it less likely you're going to sleep. So turn off the gadgets after dark. Noise. And if you have ADD and you're really sensitive to noise, now you can be sensitive to noise and not have ADD, but my experience, people with ADD they just hear everything. And so earplugs and an eye mask can be so helpful. Let's see, I think I just read I have beer when I wake up. Probably not a good idea. So kill the gadgets. After sundown, use blue light blockers. Certain medications can interrupt your sleep, like asthma and cough medications, antihistamines, stimulants. If you have trouble sleeping at night, don't take naps during the day because you're not resetting your circadian rhythm. Caffeine we talked about, nicotine. If you're exercising within 4 hours of bed, that may actually disrupt your sleep. I love exercise, just not 4 hours between bed. A change in your hormones. Did you know for women that as they go into menopause, they're often anxious and can have hot flashes? But what a lot of people don't know is progesterone, one of the female hormones. Actually, we both have it, but women make a heck of a lot more. Progesterone is sort of like the brain's natural benzo. It's like Valium. It calms things down, helps you be happy. Drops about 10 years before you go into menopause. So in your late 30s or early 40s, progesterone is gone. You're more anxious, you're more irritable, and you can't sleep. And too often, a lot of women go to the family doctor and say, I'm anxious and I'm sad and I'm irritable and I can't sleep. And they leave with something for depression, like Lexapro, an anti-anxiety drug like Xanax or Klonopin, and Ambien, when a little progesterone could have helped you. So if you notice that, you're a woman in your late 30s or all the way into menopause, get your hormones checked and optimized. Tana says if she didn't take her progesterone at night, she would be on the evening news. Not in a good way. I was on KTLA in Los Angeles yesterday, but that was in a good way, talking about my parents. Okay. Snoring. So if your partner snores, get that evaluated because sleep apnea triples the risk for Alzheimer's disease. And not only does it give the person with sleep apnea poor sleep, it also gives them partner bad sleep. Shift work. So nurses, firefighters, security personnel, customer service reps, truck drivers, airline pilots, and many others. And at some point, I should probably talk about shift work. I do a lecture for police and have a whole little section on shift work. Sleep and aging. It's important no matter what your age. Yes, children need a lot more sleep because growth hormone works when they're asleep. That's how I get the kids to sleep. I'm like, look, if you don't go to bed, you're not going to grow. I think that's what happened to me. But as we age, sleep is still critical to clean or wash our brains. Stress, I mean, no question. The death of a parent or a spouse, marital conflict, work deadlines, moving, global pandemics, all of those can interfere with sleep unless you have a routine. that helps you. In the end of mental illness, there's a panel not only for hormones, includes hormones, but also for other things as well. So someone that has a tic disorder, I have someone in my family that has a tic disorder. Magnesium, talk about it. I'm just like a huge fan of magnesium. It helps to calm down overfiring and GABA. And sometimes for tics, blood pressure medications like clonidine or guanfacine can be miraculous. And for the person in my family, guanfacine was so helpful. All right, stress. Eating close to bedtime. It's a good idea to do intermittent fasting and say you eat, we just finished, what time is it? 8 o'clock. That you don't eat for 12 to 16 hours afterwards. But you want to give yourself at least 2 hours between the time you have dinner and the time you go to bed. Why? If you eat right before bed, your blood pressure doesn't drop, and you're actually more likely to have a heart attack or a stroke. You become what they call a non-dipper. So your blood pressure doesn't dip. So those people want to make an appointment, go to amenclinics.com and call the call center. And for some reason this week, the phones just went boom. I think as the protesters came out, people are like, okay, I'm tired of being home. I'm tired of being scared. I'm going to the clinic. amenclinics.com. So don't eat close to bedtime, jet lag. So all are those things that hurt your sleep. So you want to avoid them. And then, so fall in love with sleep. We'll call it sleep envy. Want it. Avoid anything that hurts it. And then do things that help it. So set up your room to be cool, dark, and quiet. Cool, dark, and quiet. Don't allow pets in your bedroom, or at least keep them off the bed because they bother you. They want to cuddle. Our cat Miso likes to lick my wife's eyelids. I mean, I have no idea where he got that. It's a little weird, quite honestly. No, get them out of the bedroom. I know they give you comfort. They also distract you. And a lot of people are sensitive to their fur. Address emotional problems before going to sleep. So if you have a struggle with somebody, see if you can work it out. Now, if your partner wants to work it out until 3 o'clock in the morning, don't do that. I have had, it's like, look, you have 20 minutes. And if you can't work it out, I love you. We will talk about it tomorrow. I promise. When you're worried, write things out. Write down what you can do about it and what you can't. A regular sleep schedule, even on weekends, that can help. Do not read your phone and go to bed by reading your phone. Read a book. And do not read Dean Koontz's book, Intensity, before bed. Do not do that before bed. And someone posted, if you're worried about your bills, I want you to worry about that during the day. Set a worry time and write out what you're worried about, what you can do about it, and what you can't do about it. But know it's written so it doesn't have to spin in your head. Read a book, but a boring book. Read something you want to learn, but it'll make you sleep. So for me, when I was in medical school and I had trouble sleeping, I'd read my biochemistry textbook. Do not read a Stephen King or Dean Koontz novel before bed. When I read Intensity, I actually didn't sleep for 2 nights. Sound therapy can be very helpful where you're turning on nature sounds. We actually make music. I have 3 albums you can listen to on BrainFit Life, mybrainfitlife.com, or you can download them at Amazon or wherever you download your music. I have music for Bright Minds, which is like 45 weeks on the New Age top 10 list, Feel Better Fast, and Brain Warriors Way. And we have sleep pieces, so let music help you go to sleep. Hypnosis is so powerful. One of the most powerful things that I've done to help my patients. On BrainFit Life, there's actually a specific track for hypnosis for sleep. It is really great. Drink a cup of warm, unsweetened almond milk. Add a teaspoon of vanilla and a few drops of stevia. This combination may increase serotonin and help you sleep. Drinking dark, tart cherry juice before bed, just a little bit, just like an ounce, can help you sleep. There's actually a study on that. Wear socks to bed. If your hands and feet are warm, you actually may fall asleep faster. Lavender. The scent of lavender has been found to enhance mood, decrease anxiety, and improve sleep. I'm giving you way more than 6. If you have to resort to medication, stay away from benzos and traditional sleep medicines. I might use gabapentin or trazodone or a little bit of amitriptyline. Typically, however, what I'll do if I need to resort to supplements, at BrainMD, we have 2 I like a lot. Restful Sleep, which my wife has taken forever. She loves it. And a new chewable. It's called Put Me to Sleep. I love that. Actually developed it with one of our sleep doctors, Dr. Shane Criado, in our Chicago clinic. He's a psychiatrist and a sleep specialist. If you go to Amen University, he actually has a whole course on sleep called Overcoming Insomnia. It's spectacular. Well, Dr. Criado and I and Dr. Kidd, our chief science officer, put together Put Me to Sleep. And it's a chewable, and there's no sugar in it. There's no crap in it. And it has melatonin. Melatonin has A-level scientific evidence it helps sleep. Theanine from green tea helps calm you and has been shown to be helpful for sleep. 5-HTP, which helps you decrease worries, and GABA. And it tastes great. And, I'd start with 2 chewables. And if it's too much, I go to 1. And if it's not enough, I'd go to 3 or 4. So if you go to brainmd.com and go to sleep category, you find those 2. So there are so many things to do besides just reaching for Ambien. Put Me to Sleep also has magnesium in it, which I just think magnesium's spectacular. 80% of the population is low in magnesium. And you sort of know you're low in magnesium if you get headaches, if you get these muscle twitches or tics, or you're anxious for no reason. The first thing to do before you go to medications for sleep is try the supplements first. If they work, that's awesome. If they don't work, well, then you feel better about going to the medications, but try to avoid. The dosages of melatonin is actually interesting. In Put Me to Sleep, we lowered the dose because the more biological doses, natural doses, seem to be the more effective doses. So anywhere from 0.3 to 1 to maybe 2 milligrams a day can help. So if you go to BrainMD and you look at Put Me to Sleep and Restful Sleep, you can see the dosages. So make sleep a priority. Avoid anything that hurts it. Make sure you treat sleep issues like restless leg. And before I give somebody gabapentin, because I use that a lot for restless leg, I'll try magnesium. And, I'll try 250 milligrams, 500 milligrams, 750 milligrams. I'll keep pushing it up. Now, once you get diarrhea, okay, that's too much. Positive sleep habits, blue light blockers, hypnosis, music, lavender, and then nutraceuticals. And now I'm going to give you a secret. Magnesium glycinate. Ginkgo helps, but not for sleep. So if you have bad dreams, I started by saying the incidence of pandemic dreams have gone way up. Negative dreams, nightmares. There's a strategy that works. And so what I want you to do is write down the dream. And then I want you to give it a different ending. I want you to actually write the dream, but with a new ending. If you do that, there's some evidence that that will decrease the nightmares, because nightmares are really anxious times in the past or worries about the future that your brain is trying to process and help you. But when we dream, our frontal cortex goes offline, and it's your limbic brain, your emotional brain, that's in charge. So it's like a wild elephant with no trainer. So train it. So write it down ahead of time, and it can make just a dramatic difference for you. If you're falling, have somebody come get you. I mean, write it out. There's a helicopter, and the helicopter's got a line, and I grab the line and they bring me to safety. If you're dying, have the doctor there, have the ambulance follow you, get you to a place where you are safe. If your car is out of control, find a magic key to put it back in control. Whatever you can imagine ahead of time, and then think about that before sleep. That will help you so much. So, one question, how do you go from Ambien to natural supplements? I was always against medication. Slowly. So generally, if you've been taking 10 milligrams of Ambien, cut the tablets in half. And while you cut them in half, also add magnesium, 5-HTP, theanine, melatonin. All the dosages are in the end of mental illness. And then see if that works. And if that works, cut the half in half. And I would cut it in half and do that for 5 days. And then I'd do half of half for 5 days. And then I would stop it. If that doesn't seem to work, I go to a compounding pharmacy and have them make you 7.5 milligram gummies. They can do that. And then I'd have them give you 5 milligrams or 2.5 milligrams, even 1 milligram can really help just taper off the sleeping pills or the benzos, which anybody who hangs out with me know I'm just not a fan of that. I hope you found tonight helpful. I am going to go to sleep soon, but I wish you a happy day. And during this pandemic, I want you to rethink your life. What has been the most important part of this for me is I have a bit more time to really think, okay, how is it I want my life to be? Now, I do that on a regular basis, mostly teach my patients to do it, and so I'm always doing it with them. But if you can really focus on what's important to you, it's going to make this one of the most valuable times of your whole life. Okay, night.